Welcome back, guys, to another Friday Gamer Log. As usual, I'll be talking about the games that I've been playing, games that will be coming up here in the direct future for YouTube, and any games I would like to buy or have bought. So, without further ado, let's get this thing started. Alright, as far as Animal Crossing City Folk is concerned, I met back up with Sahara. She was in my town and she asked me to collect some more wallpapers for her. Which I did. After collecting 3 old wallpapers, I gave them to her, and she gave me another Desert Vista wallpaper, which I wasn't too impressed by, but hey, I sold it for a little bit of extra money, so that's good at least. I also met back up with the mother and daughter cat pair, Katie and Caitlin. My friend Kaylee helped me reunite the two of them. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever had the daughter cat in my town. But Kaylee helped me reunite the two cats, and I got my reward for reuniting the two of them. We just got another music box, which we already had. Right after reuniting the two cats, Kaylee had to leave for a little while, and while she was gone, she left my friend Seth's town open, and while they were gone, I took it as an opportunity to clean up Seth's town a little bit for him. So I ran around and picked up all the flowers that were everywhere, and picked all the fruit off his tree, and sold seashells. Pretty much gave his town a thorough cleaning, pulled up any weeds that were here and there, just stuff like that. I got his town cleaned up pretty good, because he hadn't played it long enough to give his town any kind of cleaning or whatever, so I figured that would help him out with that a little bit. I always liked his lighthouse, pretty cool looking. I like my windmill a lot though as well. I asked around on GameFAQs for help getting a few really good items, and a fellow named Zero helped me get those items. After I got them, I gave them to Seth so that he could get them in his catalog as well. Seth also managed to catch a few new bugs. He caught an ant, an orchid mantis, and he also caught a guppy, which of course he donated all those to his museum. So we made pretty good progress getting him some fish and bugs and whatnot. The fellow who helped me get some of the good items also duplicated his golden bug catching net, and he gave me the one that he cloned. So I got my golden net back, which I was really happy to have back. I got really mad whenever I lost it before, because you can only get one of these, and you get that by catching all the bugs, which took me a long time to do. So I'm really happy to have that bug catching net back. And Zero also helped me get some items like the ABD, which is an ATM machine that you can put in your house, and several other items that would have took forever because they involve you saving up and donating a whole bunch of money. So he was a really big help, and I'm glad that he was able to help me get some of those items. As far as Metroid 2: The Return of Samus is concerned, I made a little more progress into the plan and got my next big item of the game, which happened to be the space jump. I was kind of surprised to see the space jump in this game. I thought that it originated in Super Metroid, but hey, it's cool that it's in this game as well. After getting the space jump, I progressed a little deeper into the planet. I thought that I was just kind of going down a shaft leading to a new area, but then all of a sudden I froze and the Metroid music played. That's whenever I started fighting another Zeta Metroid. I was calling them in last Friday's Gamerlog Beta Metroids, but I think that they're actually supposed to be called Zeta Metroids. I'm not really familiar with it, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Just seemed like calling them Beta Metroids would have made more sense, but who cares? I guess they're supposed to be called Zeta Metroids. Whatever the case, so I destroyed that Metroid and I headed back the way I came, which was whenever I seen a missile expansion in the wall. So I entered the secret passage leading to the missile expansion. That's whenever I found an extra energy tank, which was really good. After getting that energy tank, I made my way through the rest of the secret passage and got the missile expansion that I had seen originally. After that, I made my way further, going back the way that I came, and I went down into an area that I skipped earlier in the game, and that's whenever I found a missile expansion hidden within some sand. After that, I progressed deeper into the planet, and that's whenever I found the Spacer Beam, which, just like with the space jump, I thought the Spacer originated in Super Metroid, but hey, I'm glad to see it here as well. After getting the Spacer Beam, I made more progress into the game, which was whenever I encountered the most difficult Metroid that I've fought yet. The thing that made this Metroid so difficult for me is the fact that you were given nothing but really small platforms to fight it on, which gives you little room to maneuver around to dodge its attacks. And you can get hit once and knocked all the way through the fake flooring and down to the very bottom, causing you to have to jump all the way back up to them. So yeah, it took me a little while, but I eventually did get him lined up pretty well, and I was able to unload missiles on him and destroy him. But yeah, this was definitely the most difficult Metroid that I've fought yet, just because you don't have much room to move around or anything because of all the small platforms. After I defeated that Metroid, I made my way to the top of this area, which is whenever I found another missile expansion through a secret passage in the wall. So that's nice. After getting that missile expansion, I made more progress to this area. That's whenever I found yet another missile expansion. After getting that missile expansion, I continued down that path, and I eventually wound up fighting another Alpha Metroid. I'm kind of surprised to be seeing Alpha Metroids this far into the game, because I've cleared, I'm assuming, about half the game at this point, because you have to destroy 40 Metroids total, and I'm nearing only 20. So I was a little bit surprised to see an Alpha Metroid this late into the game. But hey, whatever, the Alpha Metroid went out really easily. After I took out the Alpha Metroid, I went into the room behind it. That's whenever I found yet another energy tank, which was nice. I especially liked the full energy recharge from collecting it. After I got that energy tank, I made my way back out of this area, and I wound up finding yet another Metroid as I continued deeper into the planet, another one of the Zeta Metroids. This one wasn't too hard to take out. I had plenty of room to maneuver around and dodge it and everything. Another thing that makes the Zeta Metroids a little more difficult is the way how they can kind of block your projectiles. Whatever the case, though, after I took out that Zeta Metroid, I continued deeper, and that's whenever I found my next big item of the game, which happened to be the Plasma Beam. This beam I knew originated in Metroid 2. I knew that it was here before Super Metroid, so I expected to get this one at some point. But I'm glad to have that. I saved and quit after I got the Plasma Beam, though. As far as Mega Man X Command Mission is concerned, I decided that I had leveled up enough and that it was time to take on the final chapter. So I made my way towards the area that would trigger the final chapter. That's whenever a ship showed up to pick up the gang, and before we could pick them up, it brought out some guns and killed Chief R. And after that, this little battle cutscene happened here, which I'll let you guys watch it. I'll be quiet so y'all can see everything. Kind of a neat little battle cutscene. Once that was over, the final chapter in the Name of Justice began. And it was a pretty straightforward chapter, not much to it. I had to go through a boss rematch, which I was kind of surprised that they had a boss rematch in this game, considering that it's not really like your traditional Mega Man. But hey, I guess I should have expected it, because they do that in all the Mega Mans. So as to be expected, I went through and fought all the main bosses from the game that I had fought up to this point, or at least most of them anyway. And every one of them went out really, really easy, thanks to having hyper modes like the Absolute Zero and the Ultimate Armor and stuff like that. None of these old bosses had a chance to fight me at all. I even used Black Zero some instead of Absolute Zero, just because I enjoyed doing the combos on the bosses. Another thing that helped make this final chapter rather easy is the way how after every boss you defeat there's a nurse that you can talk to that will completely recover all of your health and hyper mode activations. So pretty much it was like every time you fought a boss, it was like you were fighting them for the first time at full health. After I defeated all the bosses, that unlocked a door, and after going through that door I encountered my next big boss of the game, the Death Dragon, who also went out really easily. It also helped out that I had stuff to protect from lightning attacks, otherwise I'm sure that this battle would have been quite a bit harder. But this guy went out really easily thanks to having such good hypers like Absolute Zero, Black Zero, the Hyper Armor, or the Ultimate Armor rather, stuff like that. I'll let the final strike go by. Awfully noisy whenever they do their final strikes. But like I said, this guy went out rather easily, and I got a pretty good boost in experience, 75% boost. Axel's action trigger also got powered up after this battle so that he could transform into the Death Dragon, which I actually never seen that. I actually never transformed into that dragon. I'll have to do that at some point. But after defeating that dragon, I encountered Redips face to face, and a battle against him started after a cutscene with them talking to him and everything. The battle against Redips went by really, really easily. It didn't even take 10 turns, it took 9 turns to take him out. And I got a 100% boost in experience for destroying him, so yeah, this battle was incredibly easy. But I suppose that that's what they were going for, just kind of like a warm-up for the final boss of the game. And yeah, like I said, he went out really easily. After he went out, some cutscenes happened where a few plot twists occurred, which I'll let you all see the cutscenes whenever we get to it. As I said, I got a 100% boost in experience. I didn't gain any levels from defeating the dragon, but I did gain a few from defeating Red Ips, as you'll see right here.
Ah, Spider.
What? This can't be real!
My ears are burning. You talking about me?
Impossible!
Not impossible at all. Here I am. I must say, it's been exhausting playing buddy with you twerps. It was for my ideal, for Suprametal. Not a bad actor, eh? Surprised? But why should you be, my young subjects? You will be the first to witness the divine miracle!
So yeah, after connecting himself to that big machine and using the Super Force Metal, I started another phase of this battle. Which, this phase went by really easily, and then yet another cutscene happened, which I'll be quiet and let you all watch that one as well.
Bow down, feeble subjects.
Huh?
What do you think you're doing? You! Let go! Why, you!
Now's our chance! Red Ips!
So yeah, once that cutscene was all over and everything, the very final portion of this battle took place. And this battle really wasn't hard at all. Maybe it's because I was over-leveled, but whatever the case, I'll let y'all watch the final cutscene.
Infinite power! This can't be! How could I lose?
Are you happy now, X?
Red Ips. What made you Maverick?
Maverick? You seem more maverick to me. With all your stubborn nonsense about friendship and your unwillingness to evolve.
You don't know a thing about friendship, Maverick scum.
Stay in our place. Be friendly to all. Decade after decade. Indefinitely. Is this all Reploids will ever be? Someday, you'll see. We'll change the world.
Even though I've defeated the final boss of the game, there are still some optional bosses, so I haven't completely beat Command Mission yet, but at least I've beaten like the main story, so I look forward to defeating the sub-bosses as well, the optional ones. As far as Final Fantasy IV The After Years is concerned, I made a little more progress in Cedar and Kane's Challenge Dungeon and got a few more of their treasures. I'm still in the second loop of treasures, though. I still have one more full loop after that. As far as the Mind Flayer Summon Hunting and Rightiest chapter is concerned, once again, still not having too good of luck, but as I've said before, we will get it eventually. It's just taken a little while. I decided to pick up Ghosts and Goblins for the NES and try to beat this game because I've never beaten it before. I've owned it since I was in 2nd grade, but I've never beaten it before just because it's a rather difficult NES game. One thing that I'm trying to do here in Ghosts and Goblins is I want to try out all the weapons. I know some people get the knife and stick with the knife, but I'm not going to do that. I want to try out all the weapons. I'm playing this on my Wii's Virtual Console version, that way I can just leave and come back whenever I want to, and I'm also keeping track of how many continues I've used throughout the game. But whatever the case, though, I made it through the first level without any problems. I didn't game over or die at all. mainly because I knew this level quite well. I've beaten this level quite a bit. The furthest that I've ever been in this game is to the 3rd level. But after defeating the boss of the 1st level, I obviously went on to the 2nd stage of the game, and this is where things start to pick up and get more difficult for me. The first part of the 2nd stage isn't too bad for me. It's whenever you get about halfway through the 2nd stage that things start to pick up. This is the area that I really hate and I find really cheap. You got these troll-type creatures that'll be above you and they'll shoot projectiles downward. On top of that, the troll creatures take a lot of hits to kill, so they're really annoying in that aspect as well. And while you're trying to deal with the crows, you got to, or while you're trying to deal with the trolls rather, you got these crows flying in from the left and right, and they don't exactly help things out either. As I was going through the 2nd stage, I got the torch weapon, which isn't too bad, but I kind of wish that I still had the lance at this point, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. So far, I still have not completed the 2nd stage. I will complete it eventually, but as it stands, I've only made it to the halfway point. And I made it to the boss of the 2nd stage, I just haven't beaten the boss. It's 2 of these weird, gigantic goblin-type enemies. I've used 8 continues and only made it 1.5 stages into the game so far. I will beat it eventually, though. As far as Luigis Mansion is concerned, I made more progress in that as well. I made my way into the next big portion of the mansion, and once I unlocked the next door, this little lightning storm happened and it hit the mansion and knocked all the power out. Which, before lighting all the power back up in the mansion, I had to go find another ghost, one that actually liked being left alone in the dark. So I found the next portrait ghost and took it out just as easily as I took out all the other portrait ghosts. Once I defeated that portrait ghost, I made my way to the breaker room, which is whenever I turned the power back on in the mansion. Then I started hunting around for a ghost again. And I eventually came up to this room here with these 3 toy soldiers. I actually game overed in this room because I couldn't figure out how to make these toy soldier ghosts make their hearts show. I didn't realize at all that I had to just keep using the vacuum on their little toy handle on their backs. But I did eventually find out how to do it and I defeated them. But I did like the 3-in-1 portrait ghost. That was pretty cool. After defeating the toy soldier ghost, I encountered another boo, my 40th one, which I captured. I had to chase it around a little bit, but I did eventually capture it. After getting my 40th boo, I entered one of the toy houses, which had an elevator that took me up to the roof of the mansion. After defeating all the ghosts on the roof of the mansion, it showed me a treasure chest, but I apparently wasn't paying too good attention as to where the treasure chest appeared because I went to the wrong side of the roof and climbed up a ladder, and I fell right down the chimney and landed in the sealed room. That's okay, though, because as it turns out, I would have had to have went there eventually anyway, so it was kind of good that I accidentally stumbled upon the sealed room. After defeating all the enemies in the sealed room, the lights came back on and a treasure chest appeared, which, after opening up the treasure chest, it had a key. Which, of course, proved to me that I would have had to have come here anyway at some point, so it wasn't all bad that I accidentally stumbled across this room, and I'm kind of glad that I did. After cleaning out the sealed room, I went back to the roof and got the treasure chest that I missed, which was another key leading to another area of the mansion. After getting that key, I made my way deeper into the mansion, which was whenever I came up to my next portrait ghost, who wanted to play a little game where I had to freeze him at least 7 times. After doing that, I started the battle against him, which, just like any of the other portrait ghosts, he went out just as easily as they did. I haven't really noticed any big difficulty curves when fighting all the portrait ghosts, but maybe that's what they were going for. Maybe I'm just not really paying attention for it or something. Heck, I don't know. This one went out really easily, though, just like all the other portrait ghosts do. And after defeating that portrait ghost, I got a couple more boos. I got my 41st boo, which, just like all the other boos lately, I've had to chase it around for a little while, mainly because they have a lot of health. I also got my 42nd boo, again after chasing it around a little while. And I got my 43rd boo. Yeah, I've been trying to follow the boos as I've been getting the portrait ghost a little better this time around, because I'm getting so close to the end of the game. I also got my 44th boo, and then after that I came across the guest room, which after spraying the guest who was sleeping on an upside-down bed, she woke up and showed her heart. And after defeating the guest in the guest room or whatever, I had to leave the room and then return to make it become right side up. That's whenever I got that treasure chest. After that I caught another boo, got my 45th boo. Once again after chasing it around for a little while. After that, I made my way to another room where everything was really cold, and I found a frozen portrait ghost, which after thawing him out, the battle against him started, and I took him out without too much trouble. He was a little more difficult than most of the others, mainly because I could slide around on the ice and stuff, but other than that, he wasn't much more difficult. After getting that Arctic portrait ghost, I got a few more boos. I got, I believe, up to my 48th boo before I encountered my next portrait ghost. All of them I managed to catch in the icy room. I had to chase them around for a while, but I finally caught them all in the icy room. But whatever the case, so after I caught my 48th boo, I made my way deeper into the mansion. That's whenever I came up to the final of the portrait ghost, which was the artist. There were actually kind of two phases to the battle against the artist. The first phase, he made ghosts come out of all of his paintings, and I had to defeat all the ghosts that he made appear. But after I defeated all the different types of ghosts, I fought the artist himself. I had to fight some generic type ghosts, and I had to fight like some of the big green ghosts that'll throw banana peels. Stuff like that. I just had to fight a variety of ghosts before I could fight the artist himself. But like I've said before with the other portrait ghosts, the artist wasn't really any more difficult than they were. But it's still a lot of fun, even though the portrait ghosts don't really seem to be too different in their difficulty. I still enjoy taking them out. After I took out the artist, I got the next big key of the mansion that'll lead me deeper into it. Which, of course, after getting that, I made my way deeper after I caught a couple more boos. I caught my 49th boo, and then my 50th boo took me a while to find, but I eventually chased him down to the iced-over room in the mansion and got my 50th boo. After getting him, he dropped a diamond, which was pretty nice. But after I got that last boo, I made my way to the last sealed door, which I used my next big key on and entered. That's whenever I came up to the final boss of the game, who happened to be King Boo. I actually wasn't sure at first if King Boo would be the 50th of the boos or if I had to catch 50 boos before I encountered him, but I learned that he was not part of the 50 boos. After encountering King Boo, he entered a portrait of Bowser and transformed into him. That's when the final battle of the game began. It was a rather easy final battle, even though I did game over on it. It really wasn't too hard of a final battle. I was kind of surprised to see Bowser in it, or at least I would have been a little bit surprised to see Bowser in this game if my friend Seth didn't accidentally give it away. But hey, I would have found out eventually, so I'm not mad at him or anything. But it's pretty cool that King Boo became Bowser. It was kind of like a 2-in-1 sort of final battle. You actually had to hit Bowser and then you could do damage to King Boo. Bowser would kind of shoot out these spiked balls. You had to suck the balls in with your vacuum and shoot them into Bowser's head, which would knock his head off, and that's when King Boo would come out. Whenever King Boo came out, that was your chance to start attacking him with the vacuum. King Boo had quite a bit of health, and you had to get him down to 0, of course. Which, of course, after getting King Boo down to 0, that was the end of the final battle of the game. You see Bowser all falling apart. Kind of weird to see Bowser without a head. If that were the actual real Bowser, that'd be kind of brutal, but since it's just kind of like a ghostly portrait version of him, then it's not too bad, I guess. But after I defeated the final boss of the game, I seen all the portrait ghosts that I got, and seen my total money. And of course I got to get Mario back out of his portrait, but we'll get to that in just a minute. I got quite a bit of money, but like I said, I wasn't really going for like any super duper high amount. Although I probably should have went for a pretty good amount. I just kind of got whatever I got. But after I seen my final money of the game, we transformed Mario from the portrait back into a human being. And it's kind of a funny ending. I liked seeing Mario become human again. Luigi got to laugh at him, which was kind of cool. But after seeing Mario become human again, it went through the credits and whatnot, and then I got to see what my mansion rank would be. And it says that I can return to the mansion and do stuff. I'm guessing that's just like a New Game Plus sort of thing, so I wasn't too interested in starting anything up with that. I might look more into it, and I might go through the new mansion, or I might just start a new game at some point or another. But whatever the case, though, it was kind of neat to see you get a different rank for your mansion depending on the amount of money that you collected. Which makes me kind of wish that I would have focused a little bit more on collecting cash as I went through the game, but whatever. It's not too big a deal. I'll get a better mansion in later runs of Luigi's Mansion. But yeah, I like how Luigi gets to laugh at Mario. That's kind of cool. Nice little ending, I thought. My mansion rank after it added up all my money and went through the credits and whatnot was rank C. But I really wasn't too sure what I would get because I didn't know like how high of money I'd have to get for it or whatever. But yeah, like I said, after the credits were all over, it showed a little more of the ending, and I got to see my mansion and whatnot. As you'll get to see right here, of course. Got Mansion Ring C, which is pretty cool. I kind of like that. It's not quite as big as I expected it to be, but it's only a Ring C, I suppose. Pretty neat looking house. Kind of suits Luigi, I suppose. But it was nice to beat Luigi's Mansion. This was a really enjoyable game. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. As far as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is concerned, I made a little more progress in this. I decided to start using warp zones now to help make collecting the stars go by a little bit faster. Since I've already seen all of World 9, I wasn't too interested in going through all the levels. As I've said before, though, in regular runs after I get all 24 stars, I'll probably still go through all the levels, but just as I'm collecting the stars, I'm going to use warp zones. Whatever the case, though, I got 2 more stars, which I now have 8 stars total. This also means that I can start visiting the worlds A, B, C, and D, which I haven't done yet, but that's still cool to have that option available now. If there's one WiiWare game that I still hadn't beaten but I've owned for years, it's Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. I got this the day that it was released, and I made my way through the entire game up to the final zone, and I never did beat it from there. I did collect all the emeralds and everything, I just never beat the final zone. So I decided that it was about time that I went ahead and beat the final zone. And the final zone, you had to fight Robotnik in several different battles, kind of like some of his old school battles that you'll see throughout the series. After defeating Robotnik a few different times, the actual final battle of the game will start, which is kind of like Sonic 2's final battle, I suppose. The same kind of mech-looking thing, I believe. But whatever the case, though, all the forms of Robotnik went out really easily, except for the last one, who killed me quite a few times before I finally got the hang of it. It wasn't so much of learning to get the hang of the final battle of this game as to learning what to expect. Like, for instance, after you dealt enough damage, he'll destroy the floor and instantly kill you if you don't know that it's coming. Which, of course, if you're fighting him for the first time, you won't know that it's coming. So it's kind of like a trial and error sort of thing, more than it is memorizing stuff, I guess, anyway. But I defeated the final boss of the game, and I finally got to see the ending after all these years. Like I said, I got Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 the day that it came out, and I just hadn't beaten it until now. So yeah, I'm glad that I finally beat this game. Like I said, I did unlock all the Chaos Emeralds and stuff. I was expecting to have some sort of really cool special ending for collecting all the emeralds, but I didn't really get anything too different, I guess. I wouldn't really know those, considering that this is the first time I've ever beaten it and I haven't seen the ending without the emeralds, but I don't know. At the end of this little running scene here, Sonic jumps at the screen just like he does in the old classic Sonics, but instead of turning into Super Sonic, he just stayed normal Sonic. I was expecting him to turn into Super Sonic there because I collected all the emeralds, but hey, whatever, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. I really hated Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 whenever I very first got it, but I warmed up to it after playing it for a while and I got used to the controls a little more, and I don't mind it so much now. It's really stupid that they never released Episode 2 on WiiWare, so I can't get that one because I don't own the other systems that it came out on. So that's kind of dumb, but I'll get Episode 2 at some point or another in the future, I'm sure. But I'm just glad that I beat Episode 1 for now. And after the credits rolled and everything, it showed a little side ending here where you see Sonic run off and then it says to be continued, obviously letting you know that there's going to be an Episode 2. In my opinion, they should have just waited and released Sonic the Hedgehog 4 as one big game instead of doing these stupid episodes. Whatever, I suppose. There's nothing I can do about it, and it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I'm just happy to have Sonic 4 beaten now. Episode 1, of course. Since I just finished off Luigi's Mansion, I decided that I'd go ahead and start a file on Super Mario Sunshine because my friend Seth had really wanted me to play this one for quite a while now. He just bought Super Mario Galaxy and he's playing through that for the first time, so I decided that I'd go ahead and do Super Mario Sunshine for the first time because he's been wanting me to do that. I have done a little bit in Super Mario Sunshine. I played a little bit with him, and I had a file at one point where I only had 6 of the Shine Sprites, but I'm going to stick with it this time. So I started the game, and I landed on the Delfinio Island. That's whenever we caught a short glimpse of Shadow Mario, and then I met up with Flood, who scanned Mario and found out who he was. I like how you see scenes from past Mario games in the lower left of this little part here. Kinda neat, I suppose. Whatever the case, though, after Flood joined the team, I cleaned up a little bit of paint that was around the ground, then I got arrested and taken to court. Which, after doing that, I actually got to start exploring a little bit more. I fought quite a few of these weird plant-type creatures. I'm not sure what they're called, but I had to fight one of these before I went to court and got told that I was sentenced to cleaning the entire island. But for some weird reason, the paint distorts the ground in this game. Kind of strange, but not really a complaint or anything. After destroying that weird plant-like creature, I got my first shine sprite of the game. And after I got that, that's whenever I went to court and went through all the cutscene and everything. Once all the cutscenes were over with the court, I made my way to this little area of the island, and I fought another one of those weird plant-like creatures. The plant-like creatures that are all brown and white look more like they're made of chocolate than paint to me. Looks like it's made like chocolate and some sort of cream or something to me. Whatever the case, so after I destroyed that plant creature, this little thing here showed up, which we got another glimpse of Shadow Mario. And he ran towards Princess Peach and kidnapped her, and I had to chase Shadow Mario down while spraying him with Flood. Flood's a pretty cool little device. I like him. Pretty sure that he's made by the same people that made, or the same person that made Luigi's Vacuum, Professor Egad. As a matter of fact, I know that he is made by Professor Egad. Pretty neat little tool, I suppose. After chasing down Shadow Mario, he ran over here to this area, which is whenever he pretty much opened up the gate to the first big area of the game. And after spraying down the end and making it shine up, I entered that, and that's whenever I started up episode 1 of this game, Road to the Big Windmill. Which is a pretty simple stage as to be expected, from being like the first stage of the game and whatnot. I pretty much just had to follow the basic path in this level. That's whenever I came up to yet another one of those brown and white plant creatures, whatever they're called. And after I defeated that plant creature, it made another one of the shine sprites appear. So yeah, like I said, this was a really easy level, not much to it. Just had to follow the basic little path until I got to the plant creature, then destroyed the plant creature and got my shine sprite. I do like the big windmill in the back. I've always liked windmills a lot. I don't really know why. Kind of like how whenever you destroy the plant creatures, it makes all the paint go away and you see the land return to how it's supposed to be. Kind of a neat little scene that you see after destroying those plant creatures. Like I said, though, after destroying him, I got my next shine sprite, and then after leaving that level, I sprayed down this X mark here, and it made a blue coin appear. I originally sprayed the X that that blue coin just came out of, but I couldn't find it whenever it came out of the X that I showed me spraying first back there. So I had to spray that black X, and that's whenever it made it come out of the red one. I collected it finally. But after getting that blue coin, I continued deeper into the game and started up episode 2, down with Petey Piranha. And I made my way deeper into this level. This level wasn't too hard either, but once again, it's to be expected. It's really early in the game still yet. Then I made my way through the level to the windmill. That's whenever I sprayed down this M here, and it made another blue coin appear. So I collected that blue coin and finished making my way to the top of the windmill. Once I got to the top of the windmill, I met up with Petey Piranha. And after this little cutscene here, the roof kind of shattered and he fell through. Which, of course, Mario did as well, and that's whenever the battle started against Petey Piranha. It was a pretty interesting little battle. I had to fill up Petey's belly with water from Flood, and then I had to jump on top of him and ground pound him. After doing that a few times, he finally dropped the shine sprite that I came here for. It was a pretty fun little boss battle, I suppose. Definitely fun to get away from the little weird plant-like creatures for once. But, yeah, like I said, this was a fun battle, and I enjoyed it. And after defeating him, I got my shine sprite, my third one. Then after clearing out this level, after I got my shine sprite, I returned to the Delfinio Island. That's whenever it showed me this little area that had another one of those plant-like creatures. The next one was all black and white, I'm pretty sure. So I traveled to where that plant-like creature was located and did battle with that one. Which, of course, those plant-like creatures are really easy, especially since I'm so used to fighting them now. So I destroyed that plant-like creature, and that's whenever it opened up the second world slash area slash whatever you want to call it of Super Mario Sunshine, the Rico Harbor levels, which I plan on getting all the stars from the first area before I start getting stars from the second area. So, yeah, it's still nice to have another world opened up in case I want to do that, though. I did a little bit of gaming with my friend Seth. We decided to pick up Endless Ocean and see how the Wi-Fi was on that. I was a little bit disappointed with Endless Ocean's Wi-Fi because I was expecting you to be able to do more stuff. I collected some music and put it on Endless Ocean, did a little bit of dancing with Kaylee, as you see right here. To Bubble Man's theme, of course. I got 10 songs that I play while I go through Endless Ocean, so that's nice that you can do that. I was hoping that as we played Wi-Fi we'd be able to log the fish together, but you can't do that. Seth and Kaylee took me on a little diving tour, and they showed me the skeleton of a whale, which was pretty cool. I enjoyed that little diving area. Going back to Wi-Fi, though, yeah, it really sucks. The only thing that the game saves that you do on Wi-Fi together is collecting treasure. Other than that, it doesn't save new locations on maps, it doesn't save fish that you learned about, it doesn't save anything. So I was really disappointed in that. But it's still a good game, and I'm enjoying it. It's just nice to have another game to play on Wi-Fi with my friend Seth, at least. So yeah, we did a little bit of diving and collected some music for this game. And yeah, as you can see, Seth had a little bit of fun with the little underwater pen, as you can see back there. We also did a little bit of Dr. Mario together. We had our longest match that we've ever had together in Dr. Mario. Usually matches between me and Seth last, probably 3-4 minutes, if that. However, we had a match that lasted about 11 minutes total between the two of us, because we kept getting really good combos on each other, and stuff started to build up and get really fast on us. Whatever the case, though, I still won against him 1-5, but it was still a lot of fun to have our longest match yet together. That was a lot of fun. Dr. Mario is a fun game just to kind of kick back and relax to with your friends. I also did some more Mario Kart with my friends Seth and Kaylee, which they destroyed me pretty good. I must have been having an off week or something, because as you can see, I got destroyed pretty badly. That was Kaylee that rammed into me and knocked me off the tree there. But Mario Kart is a lot of fun, no matter whether you win or lose. It's a good game to play with friends as well. I always enjoy Mario Kart, and I think that Mario Kart Wii has really good online play to it. I don't really play online with just anybody very often, though, unless I want to screw around with them. I usually just play with my friends Seth and Kaylee, but that's always fun. We tried to search around for secrets in Koopa Cave, but we never really found anything. It's just kind of fun to cruise around and explore stuff once in a while. As far as video game pickups is concerned, my friend and pretty much little sister Kaylee made this for me. It was originally planned to be like a little keychain with classic Mega Man, but it wound up being a little bit too small, but it's still really, really cool. I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to probably attach it to the zipper of my coat, because my coat is also colored blue and I have a Mega Man pin attached to one of my coat pockets. So it would go really well with my coat, and this is just really cool. I'm glad that she made it. It's just a really cool little trinket of classic Mega Man. Alright, time for the question of the week. This week's question of the week is for all you Nintendo Wii owners out there. Question of the week this week is, how do you feel about the extra Wii channels shutting down? Stuff like Check Me Out, Everybody Votes, the News Channel, the Weather Channel. How do you feel about all those pretty much getting shut down now? I'm pretty sure that they're making it to where you can't even send Miis from one Wii to another through your friends, and I'm pretty sure they're even shutting down the Nintendo channel on the Wii. So yeah, how do you feel about the extra Wii channels shutting down? Do you use them all the time? Do you use them once in a while? Or do you never use them at all and it doesn't really affect you? And remember, if you would like to submit your own question of the week, feel free to do so. Just make sure you do it through a PM and not a comment. Questions submitted through comments won't be included in next Friday's Gamerlog, so make sure that you message them to me. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to this week. Quite a bit of gaming. I didn't get any more progress made in Super Mario RPG or Super Mario Kart or anything, but I look forward to getting a little more progress made in those games as well. And like I said, I still have a little more work to do in Command Mission. Even though I've beaten the main game, I do want to take out those optional bosses as well. Whatever the case, though, that is it for today's Friday Gamerlog, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Thank you for watching.